fucking god, that's a big ass iguana. Welcome to Dyeincolor's deep dive of episode 1, where I'm gonna explain the details of episode 1. I wanted to tell my story in a beautifully tragic way, and poetry does that, but I also wanted the space to tell my story in the raw form that it is, you know. So that's what this episode is kind of about, to sort of explain why I had certain details, why I had certain settings, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, we'll start with the settings. Before you start watching this, make sure that you watched episode 1 so you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, if you haven't, go back, watch episode 1, then come back and watch this. So we'll start with the settings. If you notice in the beginning of episode 1, in most of the scenes, I'm alone except for one. So that setting represents actually where I was abused, and that's why my sister, she plays the younger role of me. That's why she's in the shot with me. And, you know, sort of like protecting that inner child in that sort of scene. And then the other settings there were like significant places where I lived during those ages of me being abused. And, you know, just when you're abused, it's not the only time that you have to protect yourself. It's everything after that as well. Protecting yourself from people knowing, protecting yourself from letting it out, protecting yourself just from whatever feelings you feel after that. And I especially had to protect myself in those places because that's where I mainly grew up. Yeah. And then another setting that I had was the baseball field, because when my abuse had started, that was sort of what I represent as my immediate release, to release my anger. You know, when you're hitting a bat, when you're, you know, focusing on something else, that's sort of like you're releasing all that energy that you have, and that was sort of my release at that young age. And the whole reason I'm a warrior is because after I did baseball, I started doing martial arts, and that was honestly the best release, because literally after being abused, I'd change, put on my gi and all that stuff, and then I'd just release it, you know. I'd choke people out, I'd spar, so it was just literally like such a great way to release anger, because you're literally getting to beat up other people and also humbling yourself by getting beat up. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the details that I want to share within that episode. As the episodes go on, as the seasons go on, there'll be more revealed, more to be understood, as far as what the full story is, what the full picture is. But yeah, here's the first puzzle piece to the whole story.